Fernando Cruz had been so solid since coming off the IL. What was different about his stuff tonight?
Yeah, Green jumps him on a, kind of a strike splitter right away, and then just, lost the strike zone a little bit. Got a couple of swing and misses, but they were pretty disciplined with the split. I thought Torkelson had a good at bat laying off the 3-2 split there that you see a lot of guys chase. But just, couldn't get in the zone enough there, and obviously that inning gets away from us.
Leiter came in thereafter and seemed to have trouble finding the strike zone as well. What were you seeing from him?
Yeah, just a little bit of that. Obviously the hit batter, another walk. So just, a rough inning for us and getting in the strike zone, and they were disciplined enough. But, obviously that's the story there in that inning.
Aaron, how do you kind of wrap your head around that inning as a whole? I mean, you guys had been playing well for the most part throughout that game. Certainly an opportunity to win it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Will pitched so well. 6 strong innings kind of set us up there. And look, we just got away from us. 5 ends up being 5 with the hit batter, free passes. We managed contact. That it's not like we got hit a lot all over the yard and some balls finding holes, but just too many free passes.
Greg.
In that bottom of the 5th, what did you make of the at-bats after you guys had put 2 on for 2 batters to reach?
Where we're the bunt? Yeah. Obviously, we don't get the bunt down, and then and then a punch. Grish has a good at bat, just misses the 3-0. So, I mean, that's our chance to kind of grab the lead there and hopefully run with it. Just weren't able to get it done.
Anyone else? Max.
We've asked you a lot about your confidence in the bullpen throughout this summer. Just now with less than 20 games to go after a night like this, just how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, still good. Look, I mean, Cruzer's been great. It happens. So, and I feel like Weave's in a good place, and Devin's throwing the ball well, and Bednar, and Timmy hasn't pitched in a while, just some matchup things, but obviously we have a ton of confidence in him when things right, and I think Leiter, we need to get him more in the mix here in some of these situations. So we have the guys down there to get it done. We just got to sync it up. Like tonight's a tough night, but it doesn't change a lot of the good things that have happened in some of these games we've been able to close out. The last few years with what Aaron's done in this league and the seasons he's had, he's been in some rarefied air, obviously, and there's been these, impressive lists or names that he's up next to, and but when you see a career list like that with this organization and where he is right now in the center of it, it's pretty awesome.
Chris.
With Leiter, since he came off the injured list, he hasn't missed many bats. What have you seen out of him?
Yeah, I mean, he's had some extended stretches where I haven't gone to him. There's been a lot of games where it's like he's up, I'm almost going to him, and it just hasn't got. So maybe that's a little product of not having the consistent work. I think his stuff's okay. Obviously he's behind tonight, and not in the strike zone enough. But I feel like the stuff is there. I feel like just maybe a little bit more consistent work in some situations, and he can take off, because I feel like the split's where it needs to be. He's got the curve and the sinker. Tonight he just was a little struggling to find the zone. But I feel like he can get on a roll, especially, he gets in those leverage situations. He usually doesn't flinch. So probably just a little bit of some uneven work since he's been back.